Welcome back to Mac Talks Football, and Juventus have won a massive game against Milan. The game finished 2-0, so let's go ahead and talk about it. I mean, the importance of this victory cannot be understated. I mean, it was so important for Juventus to win this game. Not only because it's a massive rivalry, like one of the biggest games in world football, in club football, not just only in Italy but in the entirety of that world. It's such a big rivalry as well. But the situation that Juventus were in at the moment, I mean, they have played 19 games and 30, they have just won 20 games they had played before that, and 13 draws and just 7 wins. They basically are out of the title picture at the moment. It's between Napoli and Inter and Atalanta. I mean, those are the top three are basically in the title picture. I think the rest of the teams have fallen out. Juventus are nowhere, nowhere near the even in discussion of about the title race. The Champions League places are so sort of at the moment, and Juventus were all over the place. There were calls, just starting to come up for to get a Motta to be sacked. And I've been saying this for a long time that I don't think Motta is working at Juventus. So it was a big game for Juventus. And to be very honest with you, and I will say it like right away, they were lucky tonight as well. It is nothing like they were spectacular or they did something special. They played the same way that they usually do, and as I said, they just got lucky with that first goal. I don't think they win that game if that first goal doesn't go in. I'll be very honest with you. It was the same bland type of football that Juventus have played under Motta. That is why that they are so struggling. They are unable to. Firstly, the problem, and I've been saying this. You can go look back and see all of my videos wherever I have discussed Juventus. The problem is like they have one of the, like, let's say the players that they have. They're one of the so attack minded players, so creative players they have. In the front three, in the front five, even the subs that come in, they have probably one of the best assembled squads, especially when it comes to the creative players, the wingers and strikers in Italy and probably in Europe as well. But the problem for them is that either they don't create, or when they create, they don't score. And what today was again one of those games. They created a lot today in this game. Like, they had about 6 or 7 really good chances where they should have been able to convert those chances. But again, the question remains the same. They are not able to finish off their chances. And the chances that they it's not like they it's like a constant threat to the goal. Their chances would be like if you are creating 6 or 7 good chances in 90 minutes of football, it is, to be very honest with you, it's not a really good thing, to be very honest with you. And it was the entirety of that game. I would say the game was a 50-50 thing. I really thought it was going to end in a 0-0 until that the goal goes in. It was a big deflection. Juventus needed that luck in a way, that somehow something needed to be they needed to go their way to break the pattern of draws that they were having. But otherwise, I don't think there was something that anything changed. You could just see the relief on Motta's face. The celebration that he did after that first goal goes in. You could just sense that he knows how much that his job is on the line. Let's be very honest here. As I said before, Milan, on the other hand, I've been and the funny thing is, both these managers, like both the fan bases, are not happy with their managers at the moment. And it was such a big game. And I would say Milan, that is why I went for a draw in this game. Like, I really don't know how to categorize this game because I usually try to explain it in terms of like with boxing analogies. And I think this game was one of those, like two boxers were fighting it out, but none of them were like what's the word I want to use, giving it their all. That's like, basically, if you could understand my point, like both of them were hitting each other, but not with their strength or force or anything. It was just like they're playing around. When it felt like two boxers in a boxing ring, but in a practice session. They're just having fun at each other. That's what it felt like. Because the chance Juve would have the ball for like 10-15 minutes, and they would create one or two chances, and that would not be really threatening, or one of them would be a really threatening chance, and then they would pass over the ball to Milan, and then Milan would do the same thing. The entirety of that game went like that, and until that goal went in and Juve took the lead, and then Milan of course had to fight back. And that is why I say that if that goal doesn't happen, if they don't get lucky with that deflection, I don't think the game changes, because Milan were really happy to to play along the way that Juve were playing. None of them created anything good in the first 60 minutes. A couple of good chances for both of them, but nothing spectacular. They get that first goal, and then Milan have to come back, and that helps Juventus in a way, because then it creates spaces behind where Juventus, and as I've said before, Juventus have great players up front. Then they are able to take the advantage. I mean, Villa goes in and scores that goal. And again, I would say the second goal was savable. I think a goalkeeper could have done a lot better for the second goal as well. But Juventus were lucky tonight. I'll be very honest here. I'm not going to sugarcoat anything. Both of them were poor again today. It has been the same thing. That is why both of them are, 6th or 7th in the table. That is why they are struggling, and that is why they are not in a discussion. Mota was brought in to win the Serie A for Juventus, and I have said this almost like about 2 months ago. Juve are not going to win the Serie A. I will say it again. I will say it again right now. You can go back and check my videos. I've been saying this from October, mid-October, early November. I've been saying the same thing. Juventus are not going to win the Serie A if they continue playing like this. And again, today they are going to win. They are going to celebrate, but it is going to be like, a paper over cracks. It's not going to happen. They need to change something. I don't think Mota is the right guy. I would still say if they want to pull the plug, they need to pull the plug right now and bring in something. But the fact of the matter is, it doesn't really matter. Even if they bring in someone new, I don't think they are still going to be able to win the league, because for me, the league at the moment is really going away from them, and they really have to fight for those Champions League places. And if they keep Mota, I think that they might not be able to qualify for Europe as well, for the Champions League places. I'll be very honest with you. So it's going to be quite an interesting decision for the Juventus owners. Milan, on the other hand, I mean, I expected this. Again, Milan have been poor. They are so inconsistent. It's almost 7 months since Francesca has come in, and we don't know what his game plan is, or how he wants his team to play. There is no clear pattern. At least with Mota at Juventus, we know what type of football he wants to play. He's playing this bland type of football, which boggles my mind. Why are you playing like that when you have players? You just give them freedom. Thiago Motta's Juventus reminds me of Gareth Southgate's England. Because the approach is quite similar. You have amazing world-class player, but you don't want to let them go out and play the way that they can. And so it is blows my mind. Milan, on the other hand, I mean, Francesca, as I said, he's been here 7 months, and I don't know what Milan's style of play is. Sometimes they are so so ultra defensive that Mourinho would be Mourinho would come and take lessons from Francesca. Or sometimes they are so fluid, so attacking football that Guardiola would ring up and ask them how you are playing like that. It is so bizarre, and sometimes they're just stagnant. Again, today, before their first goal in, it felt like both these teams were just stagnant. They're just calculating it. It was like a chess move, or I don't know what both these managers were thinking. And it was like a domino effect. That goal goes in somehow, some way it goes in, and then the game changes up. And even if after the second goal, it did not really change that much. It was just that Milan had to get the equalizer, so they left the places, and that's like the chessboard. With that first goal, the chessboard moves, and they get the space, and they are able to take advantage, and they scored that second goal. So in my opinion, both these teams were really poor. The match was, in terms of football, I had to be one of the biggest games in football. It was a real letdown. And even though Juventus have won 2-0, I don't think it really matters. And I don't think the fans, even they're going to be happy for the win. Of course, they're going to be happy for the win. It's a 3 points, important 3 points against Milan. You're going to be happy. But I think Juve fans know that the real deal and the real problem is still there. I think Milan fans know also. Milan fans have been saying this since the start of the season, that they have appointed the wrong guy. I think Juve fans are now realizing that they have appointed the wrong guy. So it will be interesting to see what happens. I don't think any of them are getting the sack until the end of the season. That I'm very clear on. But for today's game, it was a really poor game. That's it for me. Yeah, let me know what you guys thought of the game. What you guys think of Juve's performance under Mota. What do you think of Milan's performance under Francesca? Let me know in the comment section below. And where do you think both these teams are going to finish? Do you think either of them are going to qualify for Champions League, or either of them are going to qualify for Europe? Because it's not easy for I'm talking about Champions League, but to qualify for Europa League and Conference League, it's going to be so hard. You have so many teams in that ladder from 4 to 11 that any team can come up and take your spot away. So let me know who do you think is going to finish higher either between these two teams in the comment section below. Like the video, share it as well, click on the notification bell, and of course subscribe to the channel. We are trying to get to 500 subscribers as quickly as possible, so please go ahead and subscribe and help the channel out. Until next time, bye bye.